Welcome to HCS Talks. I'm your host, Superintendent of Hampton City Schools, Raymond Haynes. This is our second season of HCS Talks, our Hampton City Schools podcast. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain not just our local community, but also listeners far and wide. Each episode spotlights different topics, from education and student success to the hard work of our teachers, support staff, parents, and community partners. We will also shine a spotlight on different programs, initiatives, and more, offering valuable insights for everyone. To our loyal listeners, thank you for your support. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We hope you will stick around and keep listening to HCS Talks. Today, I have the opportunity to sit down with Ms. Elda Garcia, who was Phillips Elementary School's 2024 Teacher of the Year and Hampton City Schools 2024 Elementary School Teacher of the Year. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Garcia. Let's start by having you share a little about yourself.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Haynes. I am so excited, and I have to admit a little nervous, but this is truly an honor to be able to sit here as your Teacher of the Year for elementary schools as a music teacher. And I'm just excited to advocate for our programs, and I'm excited to share anything that you want to know about me this afternoon.
So what do you teach here at Phillips?
I am the music teacher, and I teach chorus after schools to third graders through fifth graders.
And how long have you been here at Phillips?
This is my third year at Phillips.
Third year. Is this your third year teaching?
This is my 20th year teaching.
Wow. So have all of your years of teaching been in Hampton?
They have not. I started my career in Texas. I'm a girl from South Texas, little border town, Brownsville, Texas. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Central Texas. I spent 20 years in Texas before I moved over here. I went to University of Texas State, go Bobcats, and I taught in Austin ISD with amazing music educators from across the city, and that is where I believe I learned to be an excellent teacher.
Wow.
And I was happy to move here when we were priced out of Austin, my husband and I and my child, and we said, where can we go? Oh, the beach, the mountains, let's go. And we came to Hampton City Schools, and Dr. C took me on, and we were excited about that. And we moved here. June, I was offered the position, June 2021. And July 2021, we were here as well.
Wow.
So 1 month.
So you just looked at the map and said, let's go to Virginia, or how did that work? How did you all determine to leave Texas and come to Hampton, Virginia?
We were okay with a change, mm-hmm. and we had a friend. My husband had a family friend who lives in Newport News, so we were looking there. All right. But I'm happy that we ended up in Hampton.
So are we.
I'm happy that I ended up here, yes.
We're glad you ended up in Hampton as well. So you have a daughter?
I do have a daughter. Her name is Cordelia, and Michael's my partner. He's an amazing partner.
Wow.
And we were just excited to come here. She's come to school several times. She's 3, so she doesn't get to be in my classroom yet, but we've already practiced that my name is Miss Garcia when she comes to school.
Outstanding. So do you still have family in Texas?
Most of my family's in Texas. I left my mother behind. She is in Brownsville. I have 2 sisters, some siblings in California, and I do miss my family, but I most of all miss my mother and the tacos.
And the tacos.
Yes, sir.
Is she an expert at tacos?
She's an expert in all foods.
Quite a few things. Huh?
Yes.
So have you tried the recipe since you've been here?
She visited me this summer, and she started making the flour tortillas and the dough, and then before I knew it, she was done. And I said, Mom, I didn't take a video. I didn't do anything. And she's like, we'll try it again later. And I didn't
pick up on anything. I'm trying to see if you can actually, because I will be a taste tester for you if you try it out and need somebody to give you their honest opinion.
I've had over the phone conversations with her while I've done them, and every time it fails.
Is she coming during the holidays to
I will be
Thanksgiving or
going.
Christmas? Or?
I will be going next year. She'll be turning 80.
Wow.
So we will be making the trek to Texas.
All right. All right. Do you have any other family members who are educators?
My sister, Janie, she is an educator in Brownsville, and I believe she is going on year 32.
32. What does she
Yes.
teach?
Right now, I believe she teaches fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
Yes, she's taught all grade levels, though. She's a fantastic educator.
Do you have musicians in your family?
I do. I think a lot of them are my nieces and nephews, but my love of singing was born growing up with my family, just listening to lots of Tejano, listening to Selena and Whitney Houston at the same time. And I just grew up in a school district where I was able to go into music when I was in 5th and 6th grade. It wasn't as amazing as it is here or in Austin, where you have kinder, first, second, third, fourth. I only got a little bit in the elementary years. And then I just did it for the rest of my life.
So you have singers in your family. Everyone can sing, or?
I would say everybody can sing in my family. I think everybody can sing. And the only caveat is, are you going to be paid to do it?
Right. Good point. Good point. Can you tell us about your journey to becoming an elementary school teacher and what drew you to this profession?
I believe that it happened in college when I was in my methods class, in my pedagogy classes, and Dr. Stein was presenting all of the options and the wealth of information that we can offer our young ones. Because I missed out on that in elementary school, I only had it for 5th and 6th grade. I said, imagine being able to instill the love of music from kinder and literacy in music, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. And by the time they're in 5th grade and they leave you, they either leave you with this gift that they're going to move on to middle school and use, or they leave you with a gift that they will hold on to for the rest of their lives. I tell my kids, you don't have to do music after you leave me, but here's your option. Here is an opportunity.
So you mentioned literacy in music. Can you expand on that for the listening audience? What do you mean by that?
Definitely. In kindergarten, we are still play-based. We are about steady beat and understanding music and listening to fast and slow and loud and soft and understanding how to listen to music and how to feel it and how to perform it. But once I think in kindergarten, you are looking at iconic representation. But once you're in 1st grade, those icons are transformed into music notes. Okay. And we start with the very basics. And a lot of my kids, for example, yesterday in 3rd grade, I was able to send them away with their worksheet of notation of hot cross buns. And they wrote it out. It's very simple. Mi, re, do, mi, re, do. I'm sure you remember playing it on the recorder, hopefully. And
I did not play it well.
I will have to listen. I have a recorder in my room. But it is just wonderful and beautiful to see the kids who are just like soaking it in, and this is what they can do, and they understand it. And it's beautiful to see the kids who are like, I'm going to do the work, Miss Garcia. This is what you asked me to do. And I did it, and I understand it. And then I could see the kids who are like, Miss Garcia, I really want to do this, but I need extra help. Mm-hmm. So it's just exciting to see that. And all I ask the kids to do is give me effort. Because being a musician once a week is not enough. So I'm going to help you.
Right.
Yeah.
And your passion for it, I can tell, just having conversations with you, just light up any chance you get to talk about what you do and the impact that you're making. Can you share some methods you use to encourage curiosity and the love of learning in your students?
The love of learning comes from giving them opportunities to sing together, to play instruments together, to perform on stage together. I have a 5th grade group right now that is working on their December program. And they are asking me, do I have to perform? And I said, yes. There are many occasions where you will be excused, but this is your last opportunity with me. This is your last opportunity. Take it so that you have no regrets. And the second graders are like, yes, let's do this, because it's going to be a combined performance. So it's a lot of fun.
Second and fifth.
Yes.
And it's coming in December.
December 16th, we're performing Starbucks, the musical. I like to call it a mini musical because we've done a bigger one. And it's going to be beautiful.
Well, Ms. Garcia, we know that elementary students are at such impressionable age. How do you make learning both engaging and meaningful for them?
I always go back to that word. I'm going to give you an opportunity to perform on stage, but I'm also going to give you an opportunity to perform in the classroom or sing a solo in the classroom, even if it's just a song that we're learning, because you're standing up in front of your peers and you are trusting your peers. And that's something that's really important to me. Trust. How do we build that? Through a lot of SEL strategies and a lot of activities that are easily incorporated in the music room. Just opportunities for our kids. I'm a lifelong learner, and that's what I want to instill in them.
Absolutely. So you're modeling what you expect as well. So what strategies do you use to create a positive, inclusive classroom where students feel valued? I know you mentioned SEL, so you want to expand on that a little?
Yes, definitely. We have a great time in music class, but I love to open the music room with a community circle. After we do movement and we welcome each other, we sit down for a community circle. And it's just as simple as throwing a prompt up and having a talking piece, and everybody choosing or not to share. And the priority, I tell them, and they remember this, is to make it a safe space. If it's a safe space to talk, it's going to be a safe space to sing and play and act and all of the wonderful things that happen in there.
Pretty powerful. I bet they actually enjoy that part of the class because get an opportunity to sort of do some self-reflecting and, like we want them to focus on, have a positive sense of self and purpose as well.
Yeah, I hope so. And I do think that a lot of the kiddos, even if they don't share, they're reflecting within, and I appreciate that.
And they have a sense of belonging. They're part of that community as well. So, teaching young children comes with unique challenges. We all know that. How do you keep your energy up and stay motivated? And how do you maintain a healthy balance with teaching in your personal life?
Staying motivated comes from within, I think, and just keep going. I keep pushing. I have a great family, my little family, my husband and my toddler. They are my energizers. They feed me the love. They feed me the energy that I need. And then when I come to school, I do my best. And I try to build the school home that I want.
So it's like an extension of your family when you come here as well. So how do you maintain a healthy balance with teaching in your personal life, though? That could be a challenge.
It can be, but it's been a while. But I've always thought that I will do what I can while I'm at school, and I will be efficient in using my time while I'm at school, which is very difficult for a second year teacher. But for a year 20, it comes a little bit easier. I wouldn't say I'm perfect at it all the time, but I do try to find balance and give myself boundaries.
Yes,
Not
ma'am.
always an expert at that, because as teachers, we're natural helpers. We want to help. We see a need. We want to help. So just making sure that I do spend that time with my family, or I do prioritize taking that bath, the longer bath on the weekend, making sure that I ask my husband, do you mind taking Cordelia to the Air and Space Center today? And I just need to be by myself and clean the house. Just making sure I have some time for me. I haven't found my salsa community. I'm a big salsa dancer, and I haven't found it yet. But once I do, I think that will be incorporated into my life balance.
I can see that happening sometime soon. Ms. Garcia, do you have a memorable story of a student or a classroom moment that has had a lasting impact on you?
There is an abundance of them in my mind, and they just swirl around, and I can't just pull one out. And it all comes down to seeing my students have that aha moment that what they're doing is important because they're important. And it's just so awesome to see my all-stars, you have your all-stars, who are the top singers and the top performers. And then you have the quiet student who steps in and they're like, I'd like to audition for that part. Or you have the kids today reading parts for the musical for kids who weren't in the room. And I said, can you take over? And you have these kids who are reading first, they're fifth graders, so they're picking up the script and they're just reading. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, they're standing up in front of their friends, And so I just think that having my students or our students be the best versions of themselves is what keeps me going and what I embrace and gives me a, smile in my heart.
Yes, ma'am. And your passion for what you do. I can imagine you're working with that shy reserve student and he or she gets on stage and they sort of kind of come alive. That has to be heartwarming for you as well.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am. So what does it mean to you to be named the division's Elementary Teacher of the Year?
It is my greatest honor in this lifetime of being an educator. And as a music educator, I have embraced this title because I bring to the forefront what music education is doing to Hampton City Schools' commitment of the portrait of the graduate. Mm-hmm. We are saying we are teaching the whole child.
Right.
And here it is in action. Here it is in action. We are embracing our kids. We are teaching the whole child. We're making sure that they get their PE. We're making sure that they're showing their artistry. They're spending time in the library, understanding systems and writing and doing projects. And then in music class, they're doing the same thing. They are embracing different parts of themselves, the most vulnerable parts of themselves, I think, when you have to sing in front of other people. You would understand.
Yeah, so you talk about the collaboration, leadership, and communication aspect of, and that was a nice way to tie in the portrait of a Hampton graduate. We recognize how critically important it is for young people and staff members to understand that is sort of kind of our North Star. So when a young person comes in elementary school, we're saying that we're going to prepare you to be the portrait of a Hampton graduate. Nice way of tying in the visual and performing arts. I'm sure Kelly D, when he listens to this, he'll be jumping for joy because he has a representative from his department serving as the Elementary Teacher of the Year. What advice would you give to aspiring elementary teachers or those actually just starting out?
I would say find your community, find your people at your school. And if you can't find one, make one. You need people. And as much as we end up sometimes feeling like a little island, even if you just find one person that you can talk to in the school, it makes a big difference.
It does. Yes. Have you had the opportunity to serve as a mentor to novice teachers?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like the power of the word yet because I'm quite certain that the administration here will take advantage of your years of expertise and wisdom and your level of enthusiasm and impact you're making to pour into some novice teachers and help us with one of our goals that is outlined in the strategic plan of attracting, retaining, and training exceptional staff.
I do have about 12 in my pocket in my lifetime, but not in Virginia just yet. So I'm excited.
Well, we need to fix that. So, and I'm sorry, I want to back up a little bit. In Texas, you taught for 20 years?
In Texas, I taught for 17 years.
17 years and 3 years here so far. What did you teach in Texas?
Music education, and a part of my time I worked with a nonprofit as an artistic director for a course from 2nd grade through 12th grade.
So you've worked with all grade levels, basically. Had the experience from K through 12. So, Ms. Garcia, this is a powerful question right here. Why should teachers choose Hampton City Schools? Just in case someone is listening across the world, they want to know from the Elementary Teacher of the Year from Hampton City Schools, why should they choose this school district?
I believe that just like we want our kids to learn and grow, Hampton City Schools wants their teachers to learn and grow. And you are all about growing your teachers, and you are providing opportunities such as mentors, such as different professional developments to retain us, to keep us engaged, to help us. Because sometimes things can be a little bit overwhelming, implementing different curriculums and having to take on a lot on the general ed plates. It's a lot to be a teacher, but in Hampton City Schools, you're always going to be focusing on the whole child. And we are very fortunate that we are also compensated well. And I think we're compensated really well versus the surrounding districts.
That competitive compensation continues to be a priority for the board, and we certainly are glad you chose Hampton City Schools in Hampton, Virginia, coming all the way here from Texas, and also equally important that you chose to stay with us and will hopefully be with us for years to come. Certainly appreciate the impact that you're making in the lives of young people here at Phillips Elementary and just in general. But before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners?
I'm just grateful to you, Dr. Haynes, and I'm grateful to your staff and to my administrators. And I know I started with Dr. C.
Yes.
And I started with Ms. Jones and Ms. Townsend, but their support and their dedication to providing the opportunities that I bring to our schools has made an impact on me as an educator. So I'm grateful to you, to them, to my family who supports me through all of this.
Well, we're equally grateful to you and for choosing Hampton City Schools. So thank you, Ms. Garcia, for being with us today and for all of the hard work you do each day to support our smallest learners. Congratulations once again on being named Hampton City Schools Elementary Teacher of the Year and for continuing to be such a wonderful ambassador for our school division. I've truly enjoyed our conversation. And to our listeners, remember, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. As one community, one transformation, we will ensure academic excellence for every child, every day, whatever it takes. Until next time.
Listen to learn more about Hampton City Schools. New episodes of HCS Talks drop on Thursdays. Subscribe and listen to HCS Talks. HCS Talks is a Hampton City Schools production.